What's up, everybody? All right, so my third therapy was physical therapy, classic physical therapy. So right here, what we're trying to do is get my mobility back. I was completely weak, as I said before. I was like bedridden, and for like a full month, couldn't walk for 2. You can say I could walk. Maybe it was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, so right here, we are doing prone pushes, which I struggle a lot with because, as you can see, it does a motion where the disc is supposed to go back inside, but I struggled with that motion because it pinches the nerve when I do that motion. So right here we are doing what is called dry needling. She inserts them in my lumbar region, and as you can see, she just inserted it right there when my leg twitched. And right here you can, I know the angle's a bit hard to see, but you can see her again insert another one, and my leg twitched a little more. In this upcoming video, this right here, it shows how many needles there are. I think I can see 6 from here in the lumbar region, and each time she inserts one, I get a twitch going down my leg. Right here she's working on the soft tissue, and that's the area where she's working at right now is where I feel it the most. Actually, right now she's inserting the dry needles, but right here she's working on the soft tissue right here, and that area where she's working at is where I feel my sciatic nerve the most, in the hamstring area. Right here I try doing the prone pushes again, and I stay on my elbows, and it made it a bit easier after the dry needling, even though I can still feel it pinching a bit down in my nerve, sending the radiating pain down my leg. So right here I'm trying to push all the way up. Although it was a bit easier to do this after the dry needling, it still bothered me a bit, but I did have more range of motion if you compare it to the beginning of the video.
We try to do just the reps, okay? All right, tighten the quad.
Right here we're working on my hamstring mobility. You know, after the injury I was bedridden for quite a while, so I lost a lot of my mobility, and that muscle was inactive for quite a bit of time. So I couldn't even lift my leg this high when the injury happened, and I was lifting it maybe, I would say, 8 inches off the ground. But right here we're slowly moving it up and up until I get to the 90 degrees angle. As you can see, my right one's pretty flexible compared to my left one, and you know, I'm doing here pumps, which facilitates the motion and makes me go even further than when I started. Here I'm doing the same thing. I'm just trying to raise my left leg to where my right leg is, and I was able to do it after working on it, stretching a little more, and it caused less irritation on the nerve after pumping it and releasing the hamstring. When I go down, do I also keep it open? Yeah. Right here I'm working on my glutes to strengthen them, since again they were inactive for quite a while. I'm starting here with no weight, and the thing is, when I do this with a single leg, it causes pain in the lower region of my back, causing the sciatica, or it's irritating the nerve, especially when I do it on my left leg. Right here I'm working on nerve gliding. What nerve gliding does, it works with the scar tissue and eliminating it, or if there is scar tissue, and sometimes you just don't have the full range of motion. As you can see, I can't fully extend my left leg. I couldn't even extend it far enough when the injury first occurred, but as you can see, with each time I do it more and more, it does go a bit further and a bit further. Right here we're working on stabilization. I have to squeeze my glutes, keep my chest up straight in a neutral spine right here. And what this was doing, this was opening up the hips, especially in the front portion of the leg, the hip flexors right there. And with the stretch, I felt some discomfort on my nerve, and it always happens when I put my right leg forward. But right here, I'm working on my flexibility on my neck too, as it was very tight, very tight. As especially the back is one big hole.
Right, you're going to follow your hand. Your eyes are going to follow your hand. Good. Get tall. Get tall.
Right here again, we're just working on mobility in the upper back, not the lower back. We're trying to keep that stable, as the lower back is not meant to be flexible. And as you can see, I'm moving the top portion, but not the lower portion of my body.
Good. Okay. And let's switch.
Right here, we're also working on stabilization of the core. As you can see, I'm using a kettlebell to stabilize my core. It's very little weight, but it is very effective. And everything is staying still except my eye vision, where it follows the kettlebell. Right here, we're working on hip hinges. And this motion, you can say, imitates exercises such as a deadlift. But prior to this, I couldn't do this exercise just due to the amount of the herniation that my disc was at. I had to start from scratch. As you can see right here, I'm working on the hip, hinging the hips and keeping my knees straight.
Yeah, let's do it some more. And see if you're shifting into that left. Can you see?
When I first started physical therapy, I had a tendency to throw my weight on my right leg. Maybe it was due to the injury that I was having, and my body just adapted to keeping it on the right leg. But right here, they put a mirror in front of me so I can focus on pushing it back more towards the left and start implementing both balanced portions.
Try to chop at the hip. Back. Plank.
As you can see, there is less bending in the lumbar region as there was before. And right here at top, I'm just squeezing everything together while keeping that neutral spine. So right here, we went back to the nerve gliding just to see where I stood. And as you can see, I'm struggling. It shakes when it gets to the top. Right there. And I'm not getting it very high. Right here, I'm just unloading the spine, as this does seem to alleviate my back. It takes pressure off the lower back.
You're also getting that stretch around there. Okay. Good. Let me just show you this too in a way you can test this. So get on. Okay. All right. Come on.
We finished with the prone pushes again just to see where I stood, and then a little bit more of a nerve gliding just to see where I stood at the end of the physical therapy session. If you have any questions on this and how it's helped, please feel free to contact me. And again, thank you for watching.
And eventually maybe do singles. Okay. All right. Shake it out.